Watch and burn.
Hey everybody. So tonight I'm going to be discussing the 2002 film, I think 2001, 2002, and that is Cabin Fever. Now, this tells the story of a handful of people. There's Jeff, there's Paul, there's Marcy, Karen, and there's Bert. Bert wants to go out kill some squirrels. When he's asked why he wants to kill some squirrels, his reply is because they're gay. At which case, I think it's... what's her name? Is it Karen? Karen's like, why are you so retarded? And then Bert's like, he's like, I'm not. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to shoot them if they're gay or they're straight. And I'm thinking to myself, like, immediately, I miss it. I miss this time just because movies had more freedom. That's a lot of traffic. Movies had more freedom to say whatever they wanted because as of, roughly the all-female Ghostbusters released back in 2016, if you said anything like this from that point forward, you'd be called like a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, neo-Nazi or some nonsense. So I do miss this period because movies seemed more free. And this movie is a towering example of a movie being able to express itself however it wants, because this movie is absolutely disgusting. So long story short, the characters that I named a minute ago, they go up to a cabin to get away after school's out, I believe, or they're on some break or whatever. Except then they come across this drifter who's infected with this weird, disgusting sort of blood virus thing. And they all get infected and they all die, and then it starts to spread everywhere else. And yeah, oh my god, dude, this movie is so gross. Like, okay, so we know that Paul has a thing for Karen. I think Karen's the blonde. And he's always like, we're friends, and like, but we could be so much more. And then there's this one part where they're laying in bed together because they're like besties or whatever. And he decides to start touching her rather inappropriately, let's say. And I'm thinking to myself two things here, okay? Look, I can understand being attracted to somebody. We've all been attracted to people. But you should probably keep your fucking hands to yourself. So there's that. And two, I'm thinking, he's going to pull his hand out and it's going to be covered in blood. And sure enough, it was. So maybe you don't want to try fingering a girl that's asleep, that hasn't really signed off, hasn't given you the green light to do that sort of thing to her. And when he pulls his hand out, it's all bloody because Karen is the first one to get it. Fuck, I hope I'm getting her name right now. She's the blonde. I hope it's Karen. Anyways, doesn't matter. She's the first one to get it. And oh my god, her like crotch is rotting out. And then her face like rots off. But then by that point, nobody's really put together that it's actually in the water. What happens is that the drifter from the start of the movie, he ends up expiring in a body of water, or he falls and ends up in a body of water somehow. I don't know. But nevertheless, his rotting, decaying, disgusting, bloated, infected corpse is in the water supply for the little town where they are. So they're all drinking the water, so they're all getting it, except for, what's his name? Jeff, the dude that was dating Marcy. He has decided to drink nothing but beer all weekend in a competition, I believe, that he had going with Bert, that Bert later fucks up and ends up drinking water and getting sick. And so Jeff is the only one that doesn't get sick through this entire movie because he realizes everyone's falling apart. Like Marcy, his girlfriend's got these weird bruises all over. Bert's coughing and getting sicker and sicker. The blonde chick, Karen, I hope that's her name, she's off in a shed now, rotting to death. And Paul, the nice guy, is trying to hold it all together, but he's sick too. He can't pee anymore because it hurts when he urinates. And this movie is not for the faint of heart. The special features on the DVD, as a matter of fact, they came with this thing called Chick Vision, where it's a set of hands like this go up against the screen, and it's called Chick Vision again, so that you can't see as much. And then one of the other special features was like the nice version, where the movie's like 2 minutes long, where it shows them having fun at the start and getting all packed up, and they're leaving school, and they're like, vacation, party time, and then it shows them all falling asleep on each other in the car, and the movie ends. As they're driving up there, of course. They all fall asleep on each other, and the movie ends, and it's the nice version. So I thought that was rad, too. Completely lost my train of thought. Yes, that's right. Jeff goes off into the forest, and he's only drinking beer because of the bet with Bert. Except it doesn't matter, because once the townspeople, if they start to figure out that something's wrong and they don't want to get sick, They execute everybody, including Jeff. They find him out there, and he's like, whoa, 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 can't be me. He's like, I've only been drinking beer. And they're like, well, and they shoot and kill him all the same. And then Paul, I think it's Paul at least, he survives, and he's in the hospital at the end, and he's kind of delusional because he's sick with the virus or whatever. And he sees this dude in a bunny suit. And I'm like, that's weird. That's really out of place. It's a regular looking hospital, and then there's this like hallucinogenic bunny. And in the credits, the bunny man is listed, the person that plays the bunny man is We Will Never Tell. So I don't know who the bunny guy was, and they have no intention of talking about who the bunny guy was. What else did I want to say about this movie? There's so much to be said because this movie is super fun. It's so gross. Oh, yeah, that's right. Giuseppe Andrews is in this. He plays a cop. He calls Paul Party Man. Hey, Party Man. Maybe I'll come by later, Party Man. We can party together. I love Giuseppe Andrews because he's good at playing those sort of oddball, quirky, sort of slightly off characters where you're not, like on one hand, you think they're kind of harmless, but then on the flip side of that coin, you're not exactly sure what they're capable of because he seems sort of unhinged. He has the same mood going for him in 2001 Maniacs, the remake with Robert Englund. He has that same sort of harmless but potentially dangerous energy to him, and I think that's probably why he was cast. He has that way of sort of like coming off like an everyman, but then like having that heightened sense of superiority to himself mixed with this sort of like unhinged quality where you don't really know if what he's saying is what he means. So I thought that was cool too. Oh yeah, dude, when Marcy's shaving her legs after she has sex with Paul, oh, dude, like first off, his hand marks are pressed permanently into her back because her skin's like breaking down. And she's trying to ignore the fact that she's dying from this disease, or this infection or whatever. And she's shaving her legs in the bathtub and her fucking skin is being pulled off with like each subsequent pull of the razor. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of the best movies I've ever seen. This movie is so much fun. I mean, what's the kid's name? Dennis? Oh my God, that kid at the store who looks like the chick from Halloween 4 and 5, the little girl. That's who the kid kind of reminds me of. I can't remember her name. Doesn't matter. She was in Stakeland too. Wow, like they don't put a sign up at the start of the movie. The kid bites Paul, and then someone says, maybe you should put a sign up there, bud. And then at the end of the movie, when Bert comes back trying to look for help as he's dying, you see a sign that says, don't sit next to Dennis. And I thought that was awesome too. Oh, this movie's fun. And the way the movie ends is absolutely amazing. Is the kids run down to the infected water, the kids from town, and they get a big jug going. They need the water to make lemonade, and they start selling it to everybody in town. And then you see a locally sourced water company with their water supply, like their bottled water or whatever, driving out of town saying, from our town to your home or whatever. So it's implying that this infection will spread. And I know there was a second one made that was technically directed by Ty West, but the producers fucked with the editing so badly that he wanted his name removed. But because he wasn't part of like the Directors Guild or something, he wasn't able to do that. So the movie, it does say directed by Ty West, which is unfortunate because the second movie is far from the best. And Ty West is like one of the greatest horror directors ever. Like, I mean, he's the guy that did House of the Devil. He did The Sacrament. He's doing the Maxine trilogy currently. I mean, Ty West is super fun. I can understand why he'd want his name taken off that nightmare. But I think that's where I'm going to leave it. So, yeah, I'm leaving it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for just about 9 minutes while I discuss the 2002 film Cabin Fever. Like always, if you like this review, or you love this movie, or your skin peels off when you're shaving your legs, don't forget to go out and do something nice for somebody. But most importantly, like always, never forget that the world is actually a much better place because you are in it. I'm getting out of here because I'm suddenly feeling kind of paranoid. Have a good night.